Hey guys, you hear about the NX? It's definitely a thing.
It's not the NX anymore, though. It's called the Switch.
Hey guys, the trailer, guys, I need to tell you, that trailer was awful. I literally had my eyeballs set on fire because of that trailer.
We can't be friends anymore.
The Switch looks like it's gonna suck. I bet, and I wonder how many people are wondering that I'm joking right now.
If you're not joking, we can't be friends anymore.
I was joking.
Good.
Yeah, I knew you were, because I detected sarcasm in your voice.
I detected the sarcasm, I just refused to acknowledge it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Both works.
Yeah, so anyways, the Switch.
Alright.
The Nintendo Switch.
It looks pretty good so far.
It looks...
The Nintendo Switch has switched my current opinions on Nintendo as a manufacturer.
Yeah, to me, the Switch looks like it's taking factors from like older Nintendo consoles, like the N64 and the GameCube, and combining it with factors from the Wii U and forming just one big product with it. From what they're doing with it, I really like the idea with having its own traditional controller and having a gamepad that looks like it's gonna have unlimited reach, so you can play games on the Switch anywhere, even on planes. And but one question I have is how is its battery life gonna be?
That's something I've been concerned about too.
Anything under like 5 hours is basically unusable.
Here's my thoughts on it. Nintendo has been getting better with battery life as of late. I would argue that their best in terms of battery life was the Game Boy Advance SP. The DS cut that down by a lot. The 3DS cut that down even more. The new 3DS and 3DS XL, those have pretty fantastic battery life.
Yeah, the bigger size also allowed them to fit a bigger battery in there.
I would hope that they do something similar with the Switch, because the Wii U, it had battery life that was just kind of meh. It was not nearly good enough to constitute a handheld, but for a console, it gets the job done.
Yeah. Jack, I noticed that you brought up a whole bunch of comparisons to the GameCube and stuff. Have any of you guys heard of the NVIDIA Shield?
I've heard of it, I just have no idea what it is.
I have, but
I'm gonna post a little picture in the chat right here.
I know what it is, but I know little to nothing about it.
Okay, I posted a picture of it in the chat. Something might look a little familiar.
Oh, yes.
One thing that I've noticed... Yeah, I've heard that the chips that Nintendo are using might be a slightly altered version of the NVIDIA Shield chip, and it might actually allow it to actually look much, much better.
From what I understand, it looks like the tablet part runs at a solid 720 at 30 frames. I am not positive if that is confirmed. That's just what I've heard.
I've heard that maybe the screen might be 900p, and some people who have been critical of Nintendo have said, what is the difference between 900p and 1080p?
I was unaware that there was even a difference, I was unaware that there was a step in between 720 and 1080. I didn't know that was even a thing.
Yeah, well, the monitor that I'm looking at right now is 900p.
Wow. Yeah, but speaking of that, I heard that that the NVIDIA Shield staff was gonna have some involvement with development of the Switch. I'm not really sure if this is the case, but I heard of it somewhere.
I heard that too. This was long before it was actually announced to be the Switch, though. That was back when the whole NX rumors were a thing.
I think that's just the chips, since it's using an NVIDIA Tegra chip, I think it's called.
That's like graphics processing, right?
Yeah, I think that NVIDIA makes multiple parts, one of which are graphics cards.
From what I understand, that's what the Switch is going to be using, the NVIDIA graphics cards.
I'm not sure if it's a graphics card or just the chip, the CPU or something like that. Again, a whole bunch of technical terms, but it's just a part from NVIDIA, and NVIDIA knows how to make good parts.
Yeah. And, well, let's bring up a big question.
How do you guys think its roster of games is going to be at launch and throughout its life cycle?
Okay, let me say this. There has been actually a little bit of a revelation that came in recent memory with the 2K, that basketball game, and Skyrim. They have not been 100% confirmed for the Switch.
Yes, I have heard this too. And here's my thought on it. Honestly, it looked more to me like a tech demo, kind of like what the whole Twilight Princess thing was for the Wii U. But I think it looks like they're taking this a step further, and here's why. What they showed of Skyrim was not cutscenes, it was gameplay. That's what I think. That's why I think it's more reliable, if that makes any sense, as to I don't want to say it's confirmed, but I do think it's more likely because of the fact that it was gameplay and not just, you know, like running the graphics of a cutscene. It actually showed people sitting around the Switch and playing this game.
Yeah, they also showed off a Mario game, and they showed, I think, upgraded versions of Splatoon and Mario Kart running on the thing as well.
Yeah, and at first I thought they were just playing the original Mario Kart 8 and the original Splatoon on the Switch, but backwards compatibility is not a thing in the Switch's dictionary.
Yeah.
And also, people have noticed, like, in Mario Kart, they showed, like, the characters holding extra, I think 2 item slots on there.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Double Dash.
And in the Splatoon one, I gushed about this on Twitter, I noticed that, like, all the Inklings had different hairstyles.
Oh, stylish hair.
So fabulous.
There's fresh, and then there's stylish fresh.
No. It's not stylish. It's fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulously
fresh.
But,
also, just to organize these little thoughts, what did you guys think of the trailer?
Honestly,
the trailer itself made the Switch look very convincing. I thought they were taking, like I said earlier, I thought they were taking ideas from previous consoles and executing them into like one full package. This could easily become like an absolute cluster crap, but this could actually turn out pretty good. And I'm with the latter because the way they're making it look makes it look like a great package. That's if you ask me.
Here's my thought on
one
it.
detail.
It's
okay,
honestly it looks like the Wii U with the Wii U part being optional. And from a developer standpoint, I think that is a fantastic idea. I just want to point out that I don't know if I've ever said this anywhere publicly, but the Wii U, as of right now, is my favorite video game console, period. Like, I love the Wii U. I love the concept of it. I love the games on it. They're fantastic. The only problem that I legitimately have with it is that the amount of games on it is extremely limited, and I'm pretty sure the main reason for that is because the gimmick was pretty much required for a developer. Now, with the Switch, it looks like they don't actually have to incorporate that. It looks like it's completely optional, and considering that Nintendo has been, you know, this company that's always like, move forward, make new, like, innovations and stuff like that, they look like they can very much make these innovations that they've been wanting to do for years, and it looks like with the Switch they can continue to do that. But for third parties that don't want to mess around with those gimmicks, they don't have to, and I think that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, but let me just say this. A big reason as to why the Wii U didn't do spectacularly was because its power was on par with like the PS3 and stuff like that, and which was last generation's consoles, more or less. And secondly, it had a pretty striking lack of third-party support. And
I think it was also the bad marketing for it because people kept confusing it for the Wii.
And also, I want to say this. So I want to say something in the Switch's favor. You know, I said earlier that the Wii U had a lack of third-party support. That is not an issue anymore. Look at that roster of third-party support for the Switch.
I do want to point out that these developers can drop out at a moment's notice. So take this with a grain of salt. But as it stands, this is legitimately impressive.
Yeah,
I'll actually get to that in a minute, but can I just throw my thoughts out there?
Yeah, go ahead.
One thing that that a few people brought up that I actually thought was really interesting is that the trailer did not show any kids. They were showing young adults, you know, people around our age, just casually playing a video game, and then when they're called to just do their stuff out elsewhere, they pick up the console, and then they take advantage of it being portable.
Okay,
Yeah.
I never noticed that until just now when you pointed that out, but like thinking back on it, you're right. There are no kids in that trailer.
And also, near the end of the trailer, they were also showing esports and the potential that Splatoon has for being an esport.
To be honest, I saw that coming a mile away. Splatoon is a fantastic multiplayer game. It's ridiculously well balanced. I saw that coming. I'm glad. I'm glad
really,
Nintendo's doing something.
The only
with
thing
that.
it needs is like voice chat and stuff, and really that will make it a king of not really king, like a pretty good esports game.
And on the other hand, with the voice chat, this could easily lead to a bunch of like whiners getting away with whining on the online. Then again,
Yeah, to be fair, I've seen that on Overwatch. I've muted them.
All you have to
Yes.
do is like allow a mute button, and that problem's solved.
yeah, and I've
Just
seen
encourage it.
videos of kids whining on TF2, and it's not really very pleasant. And I've also been in a few TF2 matches where they've been whining. But anyways,
I hate the squeakers.
going back to what I said about third-party support. Even though you're right about these developers dropping out of a moment's notice, I'm really impressed with this roster of third-party support. I mean, you got Konami in there. Konami.
Don't mention them. Don't mention them.
No.
Okay, whatever. Anyways, you also got Square Enix, Arc System Works.
Kingdom Hearts 3 out on the Switch. Make it happen.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let me also bring this up because a lot of people have been using it as sort of like this level of cynicism against it, and I'm just gonna bring this up because let me just bring up the image right here in the chat, so that way we have something to look at. As soon as it loads. Okay, first thing is like some people have pointed to Konami and then was like, oh, and then Sega because Sonic Boom, and then Bethesda, and then Capcom, and Ubisoft, and WB Games, and are like, oh yeah, look at these great developers, except they've made games that are very bad at one point in their existence. But, and I know that I'm kind of killing out the positivity, but one thing that people have outright ignored, also EA, I think they go without saying, but one thing that people have gone completely, some of the more critical people have ignored, is that Atlas, Platinum, Sega, you know, since they've delivered some games, Capcom, and freaking Level 5, Inti Creates, and a few others have actually worked with Nintendo either on the 3DS or the Wii U, and they have delivered a game.
Yes, yeah.
Especially Platinum. Holy crap, Platinum.
Especially Platinum.
Yeah.
And hell, even Atlas, since not many of you guys are into the non-Persona games, but Shin Megami Tensei and Shin Megami 4 and 4 Apocalypse are really solid games, and they've constantly been putting them on the 3DS all the time.
And by the way, Spike Chunsoft is on that list. Danganronpa 3 for Switch. Make it happen.
Also, Grasshopper, the guys who made No More Heroes.
No More Heroes
and
3,
Lollipop
please.
Chainsaw.
Please make it happen.
Oh yeah, then there's Dina, the guys who made the phone games that Nintendo said were going to make the phone games and stuff.
Yeah,
Here's
and,
one that surprised the hell out of me.
Also Telltale.
Yeah, I was about
games.
to say that. Telltale Games. The Walking Dead Season 3 on the Switch. Please. Please make that a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Or if they plan to make a new Borderlands installment, they could do that as well.
That would be awesome.
Okay, also From Software, of all things, of all developers.
Oh, yeah.
And the guys who made the Dark Souls games.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. And Take-Two. I think those are the guys who developed the GTA games.
No, that's Rockstar.
Rockstar, yeah, but... Okay, but then there are just a lot of developers right here that obviously show interest, and again, that doesn't confirm anything, but a few of them, some people are obviously willing to write them off, but a few of them have been on Nintendo's consoles on the Wii U and the 3DS, and a few of them have delivered, and like devs like Inti Creates, like, they don't require you to be a powerhouse in order to put the games on there. They just require you to have units out there.
This is something I also wanted to call attention to.
Inti Creates has made some absolutely awesome games for the Wii U and 3DS. I mean, we got Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, the Azure Striker Gunvolt games. What else was there?
Mighty Number, never mind.
Okay.
Something I did want to point out is that Nintendo, as a developer, if we just ignore the fact that they make consoles and ignore all their PR bullcrap, there's one thing I wanted to point out is that Nintendo is phenomenal as a developer. Their first party games are fantastic. Like, say what you want about the Wii U, but the games on it that Nintendo developed personally, Mario Kart 8, Super Smash Bros. 4, Pikmin 3, the games on the Wii U that were actually made by Nintendo are absolutely fantastic. Say what you want about the console.
And even the second-party games like Xenoblade and Pokemon of all things.
No, they're
which, by the way,
Pokemon is... Poke Tournament for life.
Oh yeah, by the way, Pokemon on the Switch.
That would be interesting.
Yes.
There we go.
Hey, Spike, Gina Sonority, can you please make like a new Pokemon game in the form of like Pokemon Stadium or something like that for the Switch, please?
Pokemon Stadium? I want another XD game. Coliseum.
Yeah.
Well,
okay,
you know what I mean.
support
You know what I
and
mean.
all
We didn't get one on the Wii U, and we haven't have had a console Pokemon spin-off in the.
We got one on the Wii, but we don't talk about that one anymore.
Battle Revolution.
But I think like a mainline game, like a main Pokemon game. Okay, sorry, Jack.
That was almost,
I think like a
Battle Revolution was almost like 10 years ago. I want a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking like a main Pokemon game in HD. I think that probably sells like 1 million Switch units immediately.
It definitely would.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
Yeah. So, what do you think Nintendo's gonna do with the actual Switch? Like, outside of, make good games?
The two things I want to see them do, above all else. Metroid, F-Zero. Bring it back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Switch is
give at
clearly
least...
more than capable of it. It has dual analog. It can obviously make another Metroid Prime if they wanted to. F-Zero, the Wii U was capable of fast-racing Neo. There is no excuse.
Yes, and
I've heard that the reason Miyamoto doesn't want to make another F-Zero is because he can't be innovative enough.
Yeah,
but,
he said something about wanting to get a good control scheme.
No, not even that. It's just that he wants to, innovate. But here's the thing. Star Fox Zero, and I know that Jack likes the game, but Star Fox Zero was innovative, but it also kind of alienated some people, so...
And as a result, it suffered horribly in sales. Like, from what I know, its sales were horrendous in Japan, and still kind of poor, albeit a little bit better overseas. And that's a darn shame. That's a huge shame.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up because this is the same company that produces new Super Mario Brothers games every once in a while. So I'm like, okay, you guys want innovation, but you also want to, play it safe every once in a while.
I feel like Nintendo doesn't know when to play it safe and when to try something new. With Mario, they need to do something new. They did it with Mario Sunshine, and it was a massive success.
They did it with Mario Galaxy.
Also a massive success.
Yes, and they adopted 3D Land's formula and turned it into 3D World, and that turned out pretty well.
Honestly, Super Mario Galaxy was the last time Nintendo made a big innovation in the Mario franchise, and it paid off ridiculously. Nintendo has been playing it safe ever since then, and not to say that the new Mario games aren't great, because they are, but, we need something new.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mario in cyberspace.
Yeah, quarter guy. One thing that I want to see from the Switch, just me throwing out crazy ideas out here. One of which is obviously Kid Icarus on the NX.
Oh yes,
I don't think dual analog sticks and the fact that Kid Icarus Uprising, Sakurai hinted that they'd make a sequel, so obviously it pretty much
is Hades gonna come back? Because
he's like the best character.
Yeah, even though his body was completely obliterated, he didn't actually die.
He was. Wasn't he in the credits if you stayed there for 10 minutes?
Yes. Yes, he was. 1, 2,
yeah, he even trolls you and says, "I'm gonna delete your save file."
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Gone.
Nah, not really.
Yeah.
I love that game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do too.
Another crazy idea, and this is me throwing it out there. This might obviously be an eye-opener, but I think Nintendo should make an M-rated franchise.
Okay, now
Hear me
No,
out.
I'm
hear me
hearing
out.
you out. Here's my thought on it. I do think that is a good idea for Nintendo to do. What I don't see happening is how they're going to come up with that. Because Nintendo, I believe that they are more than capable of it. I just have no idea how they would go about doing it.
Yeah. Besides, they had a, they did make Bayonetta 2, but you could argue that Platinum was more of the guys who were in charge of that.
Yeah, it was Platinum.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
that's
but
just
Nintendo,
me.
I don't really know how they could pull off an M-rated franchise. No, I don't want to go all edgelord and stuff like that. I don't want that.
I don't think Nintendo should hardcore up one of their already existing franchises. Not at all.
Make something new.
I think they should stay alone. They should leave that alone. I think they should just make a series that at least can appeal to adults in a way that, say, something like how Sony has Little Big Planet for E-rated audiences, and I don't know, something like Killzone.
I was gonna say God of War.
The Last of Us or God of War for adults. I think something like that for Nintendo would honestly, well, show that there is an audience of young adults on the not the Wii U, on the NX, not even the NX, shit,
the Switch,
on the Switch, and it would also actually, and I've seen this little advertisement trick where they put multiple games at the same age demographic right next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like even Nintendo did it with Splatoon and Mario Maker.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
I think they could pull it off. I just don't know what they would do. If they were to take, like... this is a really funny image in my mind, but I'm picturing them just, like, taking Mario, making... Whenever he stomps on a Goomba, it just turns into a blood splatter on the ground. If they did that, no. Terrible idea. Don't do that, Nintendo. Why would you do that?
No, that sounds fantastic. They should do that for the next Mario game.
Mario
Goombas
is a killer!
bleed.
Mario... And hey, whenever Mario dies, he
No, it's
squirts
gonna
out
be like
blood.
hatred, but instead of bullets, it's gonna be fireballs, and all the enemies are like Goombas and Goomba
If Mario falls into lava, he actually gets, like, permanent third-degree burns on his character model. You could see, like, the scars
Yeah.
when he gets out of the lava.
More seriously speaking, I have this idea, but I don't really know how Nintendo could actually do with it. I like this legitimate good idea. What if Nintendo did a solo visual novel series that was similar to Danganronpa? I've had this.
It doesn't really feel like Nintendo's style.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of a that would also create this weird issue where it's like, would you consider the Switch a handheld or a console? Because on a console, that might be a bit of a hard sell.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Point.
something like the DS or, on PC, for example, I think a visual novel could do well, but...
To be fair, that is to an extent what The Walking Dead was, and those games were fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
but
sorry.
the
I'm
thing
sorry.
is, like,
I meant those movies were fantastic.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, Telltale was, like, playing the lottery, and what do you know, they hit it, and they got they bet on black and they won.
But I'm just trying to think of ideas that Nintendo could do pretty well, but
Plant, on a side note,
without going all edgelordy or stuff like that.
Okay, this is just me going off topic, but any of you heard of The Wolf Among Us?
Yes, I have.
I've heard of it, but I've got no idea what it actually is.
It's
kind of like
it
The
is
Walking
fantastic.
Dead, but like it has to do with like a werewolf that lives in a city, and like nobody knows who he
Yes,
is.
and it is really good.
I've heard fantastic things about it.
Yeah, I love the art style in that game. It's the
Ooh,
same Telltale art style, but it's...
games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just typed it on Google search and I got results.
The guys who made The Walking Dead.
Ah, awesome.
Okay. You were saying something about that whole M-rated idea?
Yeah, I was just trying to think of ideas that Nintendo could do, but that would actually be good ideas and not just go completely edgy and like give Mario a gun or something.
Like maybe I could think of something like a overly silly comedy game, like something like Borderlands with a silly tone.
Yeah, that could make sense.
A silly tone would make sense.
Buy Rareback and make a sequel to Conquer.
Platinum's able to do that, so. And Nintendo.
Yeah, something in the same vein as Bayonetta, but obviously, with Nintendo's first party, because I don't know why, but when I was first playing Fire Emblem Awakening, part of me was actually thinking, like, was this game rated M in Japan? Because, you know, the way some of the characters talk, you'd swear it was from an adult game, but, you know, they just toned down the language.
Guys, I figured out how Nintendo could make an M-rated game.
What?
Bring Mother 3 to the States.
Yeah, it has the letter M on it.
No, but seriously, think about it. Like, that game is dark as hell.
Oh yeah, dead children. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Spoilers, sorry.
Yeah.
It's my favorite game of all time, and you just ruined it for the entire internet.
Yes.
Blame, like, everyone spoiling that ending, like, to death.
Yeah, I know.
But I was just throwing this idea, and maybe something like a Mass Effect game on the NX?
Mass Effect 3 was on the Wii U. It was just really bad.
Yeah, it was on the Wii U, but their, like, attempt at making something like that.
Yeah, I can see that working.
Maybe like a Metroid spinoff that's, like, more serious.
Yeah, maybe, hell, Federation Force, but, like, this time with actual guns.
I could see that working. I could legitimately see them making a Metroid spinoff rated M.
How's about put it? No, this is me throwing a crazy idea out there. But how's about like Metroid, but from the perspective of, like, some random soldier that isn't part of the Federation Force. They have to use actual conventional weapons to fight off the space pirates.
To be fair, that's kind of what the ensemble from Other M was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could work.
I could see them doing something creative with that. Honestly, if they were to make an M-rated franchise, a spin-off Metroid is the way I can see them most likely doing it. That makes sense.
Or at least starting off on it. Because
Yeah.
I think, like, an original IP, like one that they can tone down the violence to, say, put the character in Smash Brothers, for example.
To be fair,
I
also want to point out that
Yeah, after all,
Bayonetta and
Bayonetta got
Snake
into
are
Smash
in there.
Yeah, but I think Snake actually because he was using realistic guns, they actually bumped up the age rating slightly.
No,
Bayonetta,
they
were able
took
to
away his
stylize it.
guns. He doesn't use guns in Brawl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
He just uses, because despite the fact that you're not allowed to have guns, grenades are totally fine.
I think that he got in because Sakurai and Kojima are besties.
Yeah.
But I don't care because it's awesome.
Yeah.
Here's a crazy idea.
What?
What?
Konami gets their shit together and makes a Metal Gear Solid 6 for the Switch.
I don't think that would be a good idea
Yeah.
because, you know,
But plus,
it's not the fact that Kojima's gone. I think it's also just because, you know, the development team has kind of been, like, pushed through hell and back. I don't really think they have a creative bone in their body anymore.
yeah.
Konami kind of killed them off.
You can let me dream, damn it.
But I think if there's ever gonna be a new Metal Gear game, Kojima's gonna make it, not Konami themselves.
He doesn't have the rights to the franchise anymore.
Oh, poof.
Yeah, he's working on a completely new IP. I think it was called, what is it?
Wasn't he working on that zombie game for a while?
No, that was actually that Metal Gear Zombie game. That was just something they announced just recently.
No, not a Metal Gear,
Long
not
after.
a Metal Gear zombie game though. Like something completely different that Kojima was working on.
Huh.
But I don't really see that happening because Konami's pretty much owned now.
Yeah. So Atlas, well, is on there. So I think maybe any of the Shin Megami Tensei
wait,
games
hold
are
on,
gonna
hold
come
on.
there.
Guys, I have an idea. Maybe, just maybe, they could port Persona 5 to the Switch.
Maybe.
Also, here's a crazy idea. DDR Mario Mix 2. Please.
Plant. Konami is kind of dead, and for the most part, I don't think Nintendo is willing to sell dance pad accessories for a portable machine.
But it was a fun game.
Yeah, it showed that Bowser actually has moves.
That side flip though.
But if there is ever a Dance Mario makes it again, and I think it might be developed by someone else and not Konami.
I want it to happen.
I think it'll just be in arcades though.
All right. Here's a better idea. Guitar Hero Live Mushroom Kingdom Edition.
Yeah.
Okay. To be fair, I do think that's an alright idea. I mean, it would boost third-party support, even if I don't. I myself, I'm not an Activision fan.
Just picture playing guitar to a horde of toads and birdos. It's the most amazing image I could possibly have in my mind.
Imagine Yoshi playing an electric guitar. How would you guys feel?
I would be very happy.
Yes.
If I saw that, I could die happy.
I would be
tomorrow.
very confused and also impressed.
Yes.
Activision,
make that a thing.
Yes. 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 And please do the DLC right.
Yeah, that's just a pie in the sky theory at that point.
Yeah, it is. But I guess Plant and I were just on stuff.
I mean, level 5 is on there, so I guess we can see Yokai Watch and Professor Layton on there.
Speaking of Professor Layton, we haven't seen clips of him in years.
Wait, stop. I did hear about that Lady Layton game, and I would be very happy if that was coming to the Switch.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because from what I've heard the future of that franchise was going to focus more so on her. From what I've heard, and I would really like it if that came to the Switch, and this is, and I'm just gonna spitball here for a minute. But have you guys heard of the Ni no Kuni franchise?
I have.
Yeah, I have heard of that.
Yeah. I recently got to play Wrath of the White Witch, and so far I think it's awesome, and I just want to go with an idea. There's a sequel called Ni no Kuni 2 Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom. What if that got a Switch release?
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Koei Tecmo's on there, so I think we're going to be seeing a port of Hyrule Warriors.
I would not be surprised. But hey. Just another idea. Fire Emblem Dynasty Warriors crossover. What?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That actually
or
would
just
be
a
really cool.
Or just a Fire Emblem game in the same vein as Path of Radiance on the Switch.
Yeah,
That would be sick.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
I think...
Except in that vein, it would inherit the at least casual mode from Awakening, and Faith.
Yeah, and of course, obviously, the waifu dating sim for Awakening fans.
Yes.
But please kill off the child.
This time with the petting mini game.
Yes.
Yes.
But
yes.
what were we gonna say?
Okay. I was just gonna look at the list of developers and throwing out ideas. One thing that I like, hopefully Nintendo actually doubles down and actually gets enough people actually to buy the Switch to actually justify putting games on there.
Yeah. And going back to Spike Chunsoft for a second here, I know earlier that I said I want a Nintendo version of Danganronpa 3, but what if they made a console Pokemon Mystery Dungeon? Because they made the handheld ones, as far as I'm aware.
That could be cool.
Yeah. Because I've only played Explorers of Sky and Gates to Infinity. Explorers of Sky I loved. Gates to Infinity was just okay. And from what I've heard, I hear the most recent one, Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, was really good.
You know what I think would be really interesting?
What if they continued and made more Mystery Dungeon games for the Switch?
That would be cool. But you know what I think would be really interesting? If, and I don't know if it does, but if the Switch has touchscreen capability, how about a new Pokemon Ranger game?
Could that actually work with just analog sticks, though?
Think about it.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Here's my argument for it. I gave this a little bit of thought, and here's how I think it could work. Did you hear that?
The hell was that?
That was my phone saying that it was Rhine time.
You have that as a ringtone?
Yes, that's my text alert.
Yeah.
Alright, but anyway, back to my
Xenoblade
point.
might make it on there.
That was that was a distraction.
So, maybe a Xenoblade port, probably?
I also want to see that happen. Xenoblade HD, that would be beautiful. But what I wanted to bring up was
at least Xenoblade X on there.
Yeah. What I wanted to bring up, as far as Pokemon Ranger goes, I feel like they could do something kind of like what the original release of Okami was. Maybe, like, hold down a trigger button and use a second analog stick.
Yeah, maybe like that.
Yeah. Maybe. Okay, so okay.
How about we talk about the controller? Because I have some words about that.
Oh yeah.
The good old
I have
yeah,
something else.
From my
boy.
perspective, it seems like they're going for combining like a traditional controller, a Wii controller, and a Wii U gamepad all into one.
Yes, phone.
With the
time.
detachable sides and stuff like that.
Yeah, those detachable side controllers. Here's something for you. Here, this was something I took off Twitter. It's perfect.
I don't think the normal controller and the gamepad controller do major things, since I believe they're gonna be just fine. So let's address using those snap-off controllers by themselves.
I think it might be useful for something like New Super Mario Brothers or Mario Kart, because you really only need like a few buttons for that.
Yeah.
And something tells me that when they're used on their own, they're probably gonna have motion controls with them, since they've been doing that ever since the Wii, and it
Yes, phone. I know it's Rhyme time. Stop telling me.
Anyway, so as I was saying, about using them on their own, and it seems logical to use motion controls with them, like shaking it, and like going back to what Plant said earlier, using its front part for like to trace stuff on screen. It would seem like practical use that you would get out of a Wii controller. I don't know how its sensors will be and how it will be executed, but I have faith that it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, though personally, I think that might be not that good of an idea to actually put motion controls in there, since it's, so freaking small.
Yeah, that's what my concern was. It looks way too small to integrate something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, people with big hands were like, "Oh my god, I cannot use this thing. Give me that Pro Controller."
Yeah. Speaking of the Pro Controller, that looks like an amazing design. My only problem with it, and I know people are going to call me out on this because it's very unpopular opinion, I don't like the fact that the control sticks are not, like, symmetrical. I hate the fact that one is lower than the other. I am right now.
Well,
I
I'm kind of there with
I am
you.
holding the Wii U Pro Controller in my hand right now. It is. I know this is a very unpopular opinion, but the Wii U Pro Controller is without question my favorite video game controller design. Period. It's like the most comfortable controller to me. I love the fact that the control sticks are aligned. It just feels really comfortable in the hands. The only thing with the Switch controller, it looks like it's extremely comfortable to hold. The position of that second stick, though, is what kind of bugs me, and that's the only thing about this controller that really bothers me. Other than that, it looks fantastic.
Yeah. I didn't really mind that the right stick was above the face buttons on other previous Nintendo controllers, but I don't think I'm gonna mind this because that bugged a lot of people in previous controller history. So I think it's fine if they do this to see if it feels more comfortable, but we'll just have to wait and see about how natural it feels in that case. I won't be judging it quite yet.
Yeah, one thing that I'm thinking is, like, this is probably just going to be for super simplistic games and not actually for something complex. I doubt that many third-party developers will be like, let me just make a super simple game. Let me just take, like, something like, I don't know, Call of Duty and just have it so you can only use one analog stick and a few face buttons.
Yeah.
That would be, like, ridiculous.
Yeah, it'd be ludicrous.
Yeah.
As far as the actual, like, quote-unquote completed controller design, when it's, like, attached to the, like, the tablet, it looks remarkably similar to the Wii U gamepad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
I also want to throw out there that, say what you want about the bulkiness, this looks a lot thinner, and I've never had a problem with the Wii U gamepad, but, like, people who have complained about its bulkiness, I'm sure this is a perfect middle ground, and, honestly, the fact that it resembles a Wii U gamepad, as long as they don't turn it into a massive gimmick, I am okay with that. It looks pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing that I've I forgot. One thing that I just remembered is that it was then revealed a while ago that this thing is not going to be compatible with either the 3DS or the Wii U.
Yeah, that's a shame.
It's a bit of a bummer, but honestly, to be fair, the PS4 and the Xbox One, well, or before they announced the 360 compatibility, they didn't have any backwards compatibility, and to be fair, that didn't stop people from enjoying those.
Yeah.
So really, I think it honestly, it allows people to focus on the new stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 But...
Alright, so, what else do we have to talk about?
Breath of the Wild is going to be on there.
Yeah.
Yay!
And, what else?
Oh, amiibo functionality. Amiibo functionality. I want to talk about that. I hope to God they continue to produce amiibos, but they produce them to the point where I can actually go to a store and purchase them. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
Plant, that's ridiculous. That's like, oh, I don't know, them actually making an F-Zero game at one point or another.
Good joke.
Yeah. We will never.
Or them, not gonna flag this video down for apparent if we might use the trailer or something.
We will never forget when Amiibos came out in late 2014 and early 2015. It's Splatoon.
The dark era.
When Splatoon launched, some people drove up to a truck carrying Splatoon Amiibos, all Mad Max style, and robbed it.
That does not surprise me.
I still need to get those.
Yes.
Yeah, I still need to get those Amiibos. I see them all the time in stores. I should probably pick some up.
The reprints?
And those the Splatoon Amiibos, like Squid Boy, Squid Girl, and the green squid thing.
I have the Inkling Boy and Inkling Girl from the original run. I don't have the Squid, and I don't have the Squid Sisters yet. But I plan on getting. I'm
not really that big into Amiibo collecting. I just want to collect the figures.
And as for me, I'm still looking for my dear Palutena and my dear Lucina. Oh yeah, wait. That reminds me. Where are the Cloud, Corrin, and Bayonetta Amiibos? I'm still a card as well. And there's one more thing I want to address: Project Sonic 2017. I love that's coming to the Switch because it's gonna give us a reason to like buy the thing, even though it's being released on PS4, Xbox One, and Steam as well. I'd really like to see how that game would work out for it. And
the only thing that concerns me is that that is going to be on the Switch, but Sonic Mania is not.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? That oddly confused me.
Like, maybe they could release it later. Maybe they just got the setup for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC thing just ahead of time.
I guess so, but then again, they also had that for Sonic Project 2017, and that had confirmed on the Switch before the Switch was even confirmed.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's because the developers were never hinted at what the Switch even was, so I guess they decided to...
That could be a possibility.
Yes.
Since I think it's not even being developed by Sonic Team, it's being developed by a whole bunch of smaller independent guys who apparently
Christian Whitehead, the guy behind the recent ports of Sonic CD, Sonic 1, and Sonic 2.
Where is this port of Sonic 3, by the way? A while back?
Hmm?
Wasn't that also a guy that did fan games a while back, and that's why, like, they hired him?
Yes. He did.
Yeah.
He did fan games, and then he did his ports of CD 1 and 2.
That's what I thought.
And, and plus, I'm still waiting for his port of Sonic 3.
Alright, so, what else do we have on the discussion list?
We kind of went through everything. I think, like, the only thing is, like, how would this compete with the PS4 and the Xbox One? You know, I know the immediate reaction is going to be like, oh, the PS4 and the Xbox One are better. You should just, like, or hell, I don't know. Maybe it's like the 5 Vita fans left on the planet would be like, oh my god, screw this. I'm going to stick with my Vita.
The 5 Vita fans. It's true. It's funny because it's true.
Yeah.
Also, I also just want to bring attention to, I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was a picture floating around Twitter a couple days ago that was like it had like the view ratings for the Xbox, what's it called, the Project Scorpio or whatever, their reveal trailer, and the Switch reveal trailer. The Switch had more than triple the views and an even more impressive like to dislike ratio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's been out, and that picture started circulating like a day after the Switch was announced. That is incredible numbers. And
yeah. Hopefully
honestly,
Nintendo actually markets the thing properly.
If Nintendo markets this properly, I don't think they could possibly mess it up. Because as it stands right now, people are hyped like hell about this thing. It's amazing how excited everybody is. And as long as they keep this hype going, I don't see them messing it up. And it looks like they're on the right track.
I think also it's because the one thing that Nintendo fans of console have been putting up with is buying both the 3DS and the handheld and the console unit. And instead, some people just like Nintendo games, but they just want to buy either one or the other. Instead, now they have both of them in one unit. If the Switch is going to be completely combining like the two like developers, like putting them all in the same boat, it'll allow like the best handheld games and the best console games like to be on the same system.
Honestly, my only concern as far as that's confirmed is I'm kind of worried what's going to happen to the 3DS, because don't get me wrong, the 3DS is kind of like a gimmicky system. I mean, it's a system that's based off a gimmicky system with another gimmick added on top of that. And don't get me wrong, it has its issues, and the sales for it have been going like down over the years, but the 3DS as it stands has so much potential. If they were to just drop this over the Switch, I'm not saying that would be a bad idea as far as marketing is concerned, you know, like with the whole combining handheld and console, that makes sense. What I'm afraid of is they'll ignore what the 3DS did right and kind of give up what they had going there just for the sake of the Switch. And don't get me wrong, like from a marketing standpoint, that makes sense. But like as far as like the system goes and like the potential that it has, if they were to go anywhere further with it, the new 3DS, say what you want about the stupid name, but that was a step in the right direction. If they were to take that another level, it would dominate the handheld market, and which is something the 3DS has already been doing for years.
I think,
and Nintendo still rules over the handheld market with an iron fist.
Though to be fair, that's not really saying a whole lot because it's only competition. You know, the PlayStation Vita isn't. Again, we're shitting on the Vita, but the PlayStation Vita isn't even being supported by Sony anymore.
That's the thing, though. I don't want what happened to the Vita to happen to the 3DS. That's what I'm afraid of.
You can look at it like that, or you can look at it like this is going to be the successor to both the 3DS and the Wii U. That's
what makes sense in my mind. What doesn't make sense to me is that the new 3DS launched, more than a year ago, and it has one game. Literally one game. And it's a remake.
Yeah, well, to be fair, that's just because developers kept begging Nintendo to like fix and update things, so of course they felt obliged to make it, but
the thing was, it worked. It was such a massive success. Like, the new 3DS is an incredible system for a handheld. The battery life is impressive. The control scheme is great. Say what you want to about the C nipple, as I like to call it, but like it works. It's functional. It's a fantastic system. It's powerful as hell. Like they know what they're doing with the new 3DS, and if they were to give that up, I would understand why they're doing it, but there would still be that little part of me that's kind of like, I'm disappointed they didn't go anywhere with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
on the brighter side, if they do, go through with that, they would end up like games like Pokemon and Fire Emblem and all that. A few games that are like limited, that were like hitting at the limitations of the 3DS. That were like I kept seeing people like complain about how I remember Sulkings mentioning how like Pokemon Sun and Moon looked a little pixelated, and I even remembered like some people saying that Fire Emblem Fate's like pre-rendered cutscenes were kind of limited by the 3DS's, you know, lower resolution screen. I think like going a step further, that would actually like finally hit the boundaries, because it looked like they were, at least graphics wise, it looked like they were hitting the boundaries of the 3DS already.
Yeah. But maybe then.
But that's the thing. They were developed for the 3DS. The new 3DS is more than capable of doing more than that.
The thing is that they can't just abandon like the vanilla 3DS owners.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying I feel like they could, instead of combining the handheld and console, because I feel like in doing that, they're, in a sense, abandoning the handheld market altogether. Because yes, the Switch is a console handheld fusion, and as far as we can tell, based on what we can have to go on right now, it looks like it'll be a massive success, and it looks like what they're trying to do is going to work. What I'm afraid of happening, though, is developers making games exclusively for the console side of it and ignoring the fact that it's also a handheld. I don't want, because if that were to happen, the handheld market would not exist anymore outside of mobile phones.
Yeah, and that was me I was thinking this idea the other day, but I'm thinking maybe it would end up like, it would create maybe Nintendo could hypothetically create a middle ground for both handheld and console developers.
That's what I hope that the Switch is able to pull off, but that is more in the hands of the developers than in Nintendo, and that's what I'm kind of afraid of.
Yeah, like, developers can just, like, make a lower budget project that is just low budget enough that it doesn't, like, break the bank, but they can make, also AAA developers can just make their games portable. And lower tier developers can just make small budget projects on the Switch as well.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see, because as it stands, we don't have much to go on, but, if that fear is put to rest, honestly, the Switch is going to be, in my opinion, the best thing to ever happen to Nintendo.
Well, let's be frank. The best thing that will happen to Nintendo is when they release the Switch, and then they follow that up with the release of the next Pokemon game.
Or they could just go back in time to 2006, re-release the DS and the Wii, and say, "Oh my God, it prints money all over again."
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
And I guess that's all we can say about it.
I mean, based on what the information we have to go on is pretty limited, I would say we covered a lot.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
And it's been almost 54 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep, it's been 50 minutes. Okay, so I think it's time to just wrap this up. So
I'm the Lightning Ripper.
This is the Renegade Master.
And I'm the Plant Commander.
And we are signing out.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.